hands! Show your hands! Get your hands behind your head!
My hands are in the air.
What's your name, fella?
I've got nothing on me.
Put your hands behind your head.
Okay, there you go. Fucking hell.
Stay where you are. Do exactly what you've told. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Nice one. Come here. Put him in the small of your back. Don't worry about it, you'll be spoken to in a minute, just do exactly what you're told. You haven't put yourself.
Fucking stitching me up here for fucking swat or whatever it is.
Go on, anyway, what's it for one? What have I done? What have I done?
Tell you now.
Go on.
Put your knees up to your chest. Put your knees up to your chest. Sit on your ass. Stand up.
What have I done? Go on. You said you'll tell me. I'm not resisting. I ain't resisting one little bit. I just want to know what I've done, that's all. All I want to know is what I'm arrested for.
Just give me a second.
Tell me what I'm arrested for. Okay.
You're under arrest on suspicion of murder and a suspicion of attempt murder twice. Alright, you do not have to say anything. But it may always defence if you don't mention my question. Something which you may later line in court. Anything you do say may be given in evidence. Alright, you've been arrested for the prompt and effective investigation of the offence.
Okay?
Okay?
Yeah,
You need to be interviewed about it.
I haven't committed no offence. I haven't committed no offence what you're talking about.
Alright.
Lift them up a little minute.
None whatsoever. Got nothing on me, just pull my pants down, you'll see there's nothing here, saves all the messing around.
John, what's happening is the other lad's getting dealt with and then we'll get you up, okay? Just remind where you are for now, thank you.
You fucking mad. These people, I ain't resisting.
Imagine being in your own home, a place where you feel the safest, and suddenly the unimaginable happened. On 22 August 2022, Olivia Pratt-Korbel, a 9-year-old girl, was shot by Thomas Cashman in Liverpool, England, and was pronounced dead the same day at the city's Alder Hey Children's Hospital. The attack took place at the doorstep of the Pratt-Korbel's family home in Dovecot. The intended target of the attack was Joseph Nee, a 35-year-old gang member who had criminal convictions for drug dealing and burglary. During the attack, Olivia Pratt-Korbel was with her mother. A shot by Cashman passed through her mother's hand and into Olivia Pratt-Korbel's chest. Olivia Pratt-Korbel was born on 13 June 2013. Her mother, Pratt-Korbel, was aged 46 at the time of the shooting. Olivia had an older brother and sister and lived in Liverpool, North West England. Thomas Edward Cashman is an English father of 2 born on 4 September 1988 in Liverpool. Prior to being jailed, he was living in West Derby, Liverpool. Cashman grew up in Liverpool with 4 siblings. He left school at the age of 13 before going to work at a fairground in Wales. He then returned to Liverpool to become a drug dealer and sold cannabis at a small scale. His cannabis dealing scale increased as time went on, and at the time of his arrest, he was earning between £3,000 and £5,000 a week by selling large quantities. He had 18 previous convictions for 33 offences. Around 10 p.m. on 22 August 2022, Olivia's mother, Pratt-Korbel, heard a disturbance outside her family home in Kingsheath Avenue, Dovecot, and opened her front door with Pratt-Korbel behind her. Joseph Nee, a 35-year-old well-established organised crime group member, and one of 2 men fleeing from Thomas Cashman, attempted to force himself into her home. While Nee attempted to enter the house, Cashman, who was wearing a balaclava and a black jacket, approached the house and shot 4 times. One of the bullets went through Cheryl's hand and into Olivia's chest, fatally wounding her. The inquest heard that a police officer attempted to save Olivia's life after the shooting. Nee, the intended target of the attack, was a convicted drug dealer and burglar. He had been released on licence in 2021, halfway through his sentence. Pratt-Korbel's siblings were in the house upstairs during the attack. Olivia Pratt-Korbel was later declared deceased at Alder Hey Children's Hospital, Liverpool. Merseyside police understood that Nee walked away from Pratt-Korbel and her mother to get in an escape vehicle, a black Audi car. The next day, he was placed under arrest for breaching his licence conditions and would be returned to prison once medical staff had determined his condition stable enough to be dischargeable. During the late night of 25 August 2022, a 36-year-old man was arrested at his flat in Hoyton on suspicion of the murder of Pratt-Korbel and 2 counts of attempted murder. On 30 August 2022, the 2 men were released. On 1 September, Merseyside, police released CCTV footage of the gunman. On 4 September 2022, 1 man was arrested on suspicion of murder and attempted murder, and 2 others detained on suspicion of assisting an offender. On 7 September, the suspects were bailed. On 8 September, another man was arrested. A 9th man was arrested on 10 September 2022. On 29 September, police arrested 34-year-old Thomas Cashman on suspicion of murder. On 30 September, a man was arrested on suspicion of assisting an offender. On 1 October, 34-year-old Thomas Cashman was charged with the murder, 2 counts of attempted murder, as well as 2 counts of possession of a firearm with intent to endanger life. 40-year-old Paul Russell was also charged with assisting an offender. The 2 men appeared at Liverpool Crown Court on 3 October. On 21 December 2022, Thomas Cashman appeared at Liverpool Crown Court via video link from HMP Manchester and pleaded not guilty to all 5 charges. Cashman had been apprehended after a tip-off from a former partner who lived nearby and he had visited shortly after the murder. She recounted that he arrived in a panicked state and was asking for a change of clothes. When she originally came forward to the police after hearing about the child murder on the news, she was arrested on suspicion of assisting an offender before police realised she held crucial information and was willingly cooperating. There was independent evidence to corroborate her account, as the clothes she said she gave to Cashman were then recovered hidden inside a pram box in Cashman's sister's home with his DNA on them, and gunshot residue was found on the leg of the tracksuit buttons. The woman also recounted overhearing Cashman saying something along the lines of "I've done Joey" to Paul Russell, her partner. Russell would later plead guilty to assisting offender Cashman by driving him away from the address and disposing of a bag given to him by Cashman, which he believed contained clothes. Other evidence against Cashman was the existence of CCTV, which showed him circling the area where the attack on Nee would later take place, showing him driving around in his van on multiple occasions and walking around the area on foot. It was believed that Cashman was carrying out reconnaissance of the area to look for Nee and determine whether he had parked his car by an address on that road, which he had. ACTV had shown Cashman had driven his van to the area from his own address at around 3 p.m, and also that he had repeatedly returned to Mab Lane, where the home of the key female witness who would later testify Cashman rushed to after the killing was located. CCTV of the gunman that night also showed him wearing a pair of tracksuit bottoms that matched the style of and design of those worn by Cashman. When police searched Cashman's home, they also found hidden cables from missing CCTV recorders and also discovered that one of these had last been connected on 25 August, days after the shooting. However, the CCTV recorders themselves were missing. Cashman acknowledged he had been in the area that day as a drug dealer, but denied that he was the gunman. The attacker had fired 2 guns that night against Nee, and Cashman was found to have 2 guns at his address, a 9mm caliber self-loading pistol and a 0.3 caliber revolver. One of these guns was found by police to have been linked to 2 previous shootings in the area, one of which involved a previous attempt to kill Nee only 2 weeks prior to Pratt-Korbel's murder, for which Cashman was already considered a suspect. The trial began at Manchester Crown Court on 7 March 2023, before Mrs. Justice Amanda Yip, On 30 March 2023, Thomas Cashman was found guilty of the murder of Olivia, along with the wounding of Olivia's mother, the attempted murder of his intended target, and 2 counts of possession of a firearm with intent to endanger life. The guns used were a 9mm caliber self-loading pistol and a 0.3 caliber revolver. Paul Russell had pleaded guilty to assisting an offender in October 2022, but the media were unable to report on it until the conclusion of Cashman's trial. Russell had assisted Cashman by driving him away from an address and disposing of a bag given to him by Cashman, which Russell believed to contain items of clothing. On 3 April 2023, Thomas Cashman was sentenced to life imprisonment for Olivia's murder, as well as for the attempted murder of his intended target. He was ordered to serve a minimum of 42 years before being considered for parole. He was sentenced to 10 years for the wounding of Olivia's mother and received 2 18-year sentences for both counts of possession of a firearm with intent to endanger life, with all of the sentences to run concurrently. Cashman was not in court to hear his sentence. On 26 April 2023, Paul Russell was sentenced to 22 months imprisonment. Cashman was 34 years old at the time of his sentencing. He will become eligible to be considered for parole on 22 March 2064, at which time he will be in his mid-70s. In late April 2023, it was reported that Cashman was to appeal to have his sentence reduced. In July 2023, he was refused permission to appeal his sentence